motivator? Hell yeah.
Class is in session, this is the show where knowledge is profit, just so you know. Army Piper, OC guy, and Trade Fly, bringing crypto news to the whole alumni. It's the word on the market, the one-stop shop for the info you need every time that it drops. The go-to show that you need right now. This is Piper Academy, it's all going down, let's go.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Piper Academy. We've got a great show lined up for you today. CPI data coming in at or below all of the projections. We've got Bitcoin on a movement. We made a call last night in the Discord. We're going to be taking a look at that buy call that we made, see how it turned out. And then we've also got some Ethereum in the news, guys. We got a lot to break down. It's hump day. It is here on Piper Academy. Let's get it. Classes in session. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Piper Academy. I'm Army Piper, and this is the show where we bring you the news, the markets, the charts, everything that you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. We got Chart Prime in here. Shout out to Chart Prime. If you guys don't know, you should know. Check down below. 45% off. It's the biggest discount you can get in the market for the best indicator in the market. So shout out to them. Lex Caliber's in here. We got Blackie Chan, Lunar Beaches Crypto. The gang is all here. Biomex Tony is in the house. Lunar Beaches always got that morning show start off for me every day. If you guys don't know, you should follow him. He's in our partners down below. Let's get my co-host up here, though, because I don't do this by myself. I got a great team. Tradefly, OC guy. Markets are moving. How you guys feeling?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right. You had a beautiful call. So props to you. You
Thank
did have
you.
that call. I did put a little bit of capital in Bitcoin this weekend myself. So yeah, all is well. Bought a little soul. Yeah, looking good. But you know me. I've always got bad news for you guys. So we'll talk about that later.
You and your bad news, man. You and your bad news. Shout out to Mr. J in the house. Just Jay now. He got rid of the Mr. He no longer identifies
I can't
as
tag
Mr.
him. Jay. I'm so glad you brought him up. Please change your name so I can tag you, or tell me how to tag you, man. I just put Jay in there every time because I can't tag him.
Yeah, Lex Caliber saying he hopes that Crux feels better. Yeah, so do we. Crux is feeling a little bit under the weather, but he's starting to rally back. He's starting to rally back a lot like Bitcoin. So, OC, how you doing today, man?
No, I'm doing fantastic. For us, we also been just going to that neckline of the inverse head and shoulders, and almost confirming the spring pullback that we were talking about. And great call yesterday, by the way. Great call. So
Thank you.
I mean, we're still on track. We're bouncing off the zero line. So I think everything is just, at this point, flowers, kittens, and in hearts.
Yep, absolutely. And you got all of your stuff working there in your background today too, so that's good. I was just watching T-Shroom. And you had some pretty trippy. That's the word we'll use. Pretty trippy mushroom backgrounds going on there. So yeah. If you guys need to trip out, Wednesday tripping right here with the OC and Tradefly. So let's go ahead and jump over into the news, guys. Today's news brought to you, as always, by Decrypted.tax. Tax season's over, but it never, ever stops when it comes to prepping for the next year. So check out Decrypted.tax. He will actually give you some great info for free. Check the link down below, and it'll help the show. So there you go. Let's jump over into that news. Guys, fear and greed coming in at 64. We're sitting in greed still about even between extreme greed and neutral. So nothing major going on there. Jumping over into the crypto bubbles, we got the crypto bubbles telling us, hey, it's green, guys, and we're on the daily, so you can see Arwee's up 14.7%, Stacks up 8.5 there. We got Graph up 6.8, Ondo's up 5.3, Render up 7.4. So things starting to get a little move this morning. A lot of this was red until we get that CPI data, which we're going to look at in just a second. Looking here, though, Bitcoin, you guys can see it's up 3.8%. Ethereum lagging behind at 2.2% here. Any big movers that moved up here? Near Protocol moved up one position. Hedera H-bar moved up one position. Ethereum Classic moved up one position. I didn't say that, sorry. First Digital USD dropped two positions. Stacks is up 5 spots, guys. 5 spots on the market cap there, so that's pretty good. Arweave up 4, BitTensor up 4. So some big movers there. Optimism, though, dropping 4 spots down to number 44. And right now, we're just going to be looking at these charts and seeing where these could be heading next. There could be some things coming into play. And then, of course, we got TradeFly saying that there's some bearish stuff too, so watch out. So we're going to be looking at that too. Over to the liquidations, guys. Looking over here at the liquidations in the past 24 hours, 59,321 traders liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at 136 million, just changed. And largest single liquidation was for 2.1 million. Not that big of a deal. Just what's a couple million in a trade? No biggie. Jumping over to this, and we're actually going to go back over and check out the X marks the spot Kabisi letter, breaking this down really good for us. But this is why the markets are moving, guys. Core inflation rate this morning came in at consensus and forecast on the month over month. For the year over year, came in at consensus below the forecast and 0.2% below its previous. And then inflation rate is now sitting at 3, was at 4, and consensus and forecast was at 4.3. So we came in at the forecast below that consensus there. And there's a really good breakdown that we have over here on the Kabisi letter. So let's go grab that and pull that up and see what he said here. There is the Kabisi letter. It is right there. There we go. So taking a look here, Kabisi letter says, breaking, April CPI inflation rate falls to 3.4%, in line with the expectation of 3.4%. Core CPI was 3.6%, in line with the expectation of 3.6%. This marks the 37th consecutive month with inflation above 3%, though. He did mark that as the first decrease in inflation over the last 3 months, though. However, PPI inflation data yesterday showed a third straight monthly increase. The Fed will remain in wait-and-see mode, and I absolutely believe that is going to be the case. Also, update for you guys. You guys remember, if you recall, we were talking about the coffee being a CPI. There was a clarification made by the Bureau of Labor Statistics because they figured out, hey, maybe we can't just throw this data out there and allow it to be undefined. So they came in and said, hey, coffee prices are not being removed from CPI. The BLS.gov said rather they discontinued specific coffee package size categories from their CPI computation because of the changes in the way items such as coffee are packaged. BLS will sometimes discontinue specific size categories. And if you actually look here, it was the 13.1 to 20 ounce cans that they discontinued. So I think a big reason for that is, and I'm going to jump over here to Trio Can. We'll talk about this. I don't think that it was because they just happened to remove that one. I don't think that one's very relevant anymore because I think you saw a lot of shrinkflation with coffee where they went down in a little bit smaller size for the same price. That's called shrinkflation. It's where you increase the price per pound or price per whatever measurement, but then in return charge the same amount and make it a smaller package. So the same price, smaller packaging, shrinkflation, I think is the reason that you're seeing that. Just my opinion, but very possibly the case. TradeFly OC, what do you guys think about that? And what is your thoughts on the CPI data that we had today?
Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about it yesterday. I think it's, the numbers are still manipulated. We all know what reality is. We know what we're feeling. So I don't get too tied around it. And you kind of called it out when we talked about it last time. Still good for the market, though, right? So if the numbers come back positively, market's going to move based on that, and that's cool. And we play that game. That's what we do here every day. We just know what reality is. So don't be surprised if you do see some sort of pullback when reality starts to set in and people get over this little bit of, misinformation is what I'm going to call it, because those numbers aren't real. So
they ain't real. They're not real. We know this.
Real. It ain't real.
Yep. And Lunar Beach just said kudos to Kabisi for correcting the record. And he did. Yep. That's one of the reasons I follow him. I'm all about transparency and I'm all about humility. And if you put out bad data or you misread something and you find out later that that's the case, then you should come back and, eat your crow, eat your humble pie and tell your people, straight up. Too many people out there don't do that, and I think humility is a great quality to have. So let's jump over into Bitcoin here and check out some Bitcoin real fast, and then TradeFly. I'm very curious to see what you're seeing on the chart there. I think I know what it is, but you were talking about it before, so we'll see what it is. But looking at Bitcoin here, guys, Bitcoin, the call that we made, let me come back over here for a second. It is right here. There we go. This is the call that I made. You guys can see right here. The price was 61,635. We did it on Discord, and I said, hey, this is a possible bounce coming here, 61,635, and that was going to be yesterday that we made this call, and the price would have been somewhere right there in that 4-hour candle. My time around 3 or 4 o'clock, I believe it was, in the evening. So 5 or 6 o'clock on the East Coast. And that was when I made that call for 61,623. So right in this ballpark right here. That was literally the candle close bottom. And you can see from that point there, it's just been an upward trajectory. So if anybody got in on that, I did say check those alts, because a lot of times the alts will get a bigger move than what Bitcoin will. So I figured that was going to be the way to go. Shout out to Biomex in here. Amy Lives Crypto. Amy Lives Crypto. Look at that. Amy Lives Crypto. I showed you guys the show yesterday on YouTube and said that we were looking to do a little bit of collab with her here on the show, and now she's in the chat. So shout out to you, Amy Lives Crypto. We showed your YouTube channel yesterday on the show, so trying to get you some more people over there. Dave Digital in here saying the 11 is Dave Digital's. What are you saying? I don't even know Dave Digital. Double D is confusing me today. Let's jump back in and take a look at what we're seeing here on the oscillators. We did get the bounce here on the 0 line. We also got the RSI prime started to give that reversal indicator. I tell you guys, when those Heikin-Ashi candles get smaller and start to shrink there, it is a nice little flip to the upside that we can get there. Alexandra G, thank you for dropping that link for Amy Lives Crypto. You guys can get that link right there and go check out her content. She's got really good stuff. She is an advocate for free money, and we love it because that is what Bitcoin and crypto is all about. It is freedom money. So that's what I'm seeing here on this. We are above the point of control. Guys, I'm going to be watching here for 2 levels of resistance. One is going to be coming right here where we currently are. This is the previous hop. This would make a higher high in the local and be a break of structure. You can see the high, higher high, lower high, and this was a lower high here. Now we're getting above that, and that is going to be our upside movement that I'm going to be watching. If we break this, looking at the 786 at $67,000. OC, actually, TradeFly, let's look at your heat map, and then I want to see what you're seeing on your special chart that you said you got. So let's get over there.
I don't know if we'll call it special. And anyways, liquidation heat map. Hey, we cleared out the liquidity here to the top side. It's pretty much smooth sailing. So now we can kind of just turn to the charts, not worry too much about price action chasing liquidity. So not going to deep dive too far into that and clicking all over the place here. But let's go over to the weekly. So you know that we like to zoom out a little bit every once in a while, take a look-see, and see what we're seeing on the charts here. I did talk about this right here. This movement up, had a little cool off, moved up again. Looks very similar. Move up, cool off, move up. Move up, cool off, move up. So, that gives me pause when we got up here. I've been talking about that for a long time now. I probably just sound like the perma bear. However, come on down here to the MACD. And what you can see here, when we had this big move up, we had a MACD cross. What we have now, we got another MACD cross. And this is brought to you courtesy of Piper. Don't let him fool you. He's the one that was talking about this. If you guys just switched over from Investing Bros, they're talking about it over there too, because Piper. So yeah, we had a bearish cross, and typically that's not a good thing on the weekly. We can go back and see, historically. All right, let's go back. We had this big move up, right? We want to see things that are kind of comparable in the charts. Bearish cross. Bearish cross. There you go. All right. So there it is. I would say be careful. We are starting to trend, in a negative direction on the MACD. And even when you're looking at the prime oscillator on the weekly, you can see we had overbought again, right? So look at this one, overbought again. Guess what? Dumpsies. So didn't actually get the indication there, but it's just word of a caution. Short term, everything looks good right now. We got positive data. Everybody's looking pretty right now in the last couple of days, or at least last 24 hours. So just wanted to point that out to you guys. Not
I will point
that
out.
bearish, to be honest.
I will point out though that prophecy says pump.
It does, and the prime score is
does.
extremely high. Consolidation is a 0. So let's see who's right. Do we go with the traditional indicator or the prophecy?
Hey, just so you know, I leave all that bearishness to you. You are the bear,
I know.
not me. Here, there we go.
Yeah.
Bear face. I leave all that for you. I am hopium filled. I am invested well, and I want this to continue going
Yeah.
up. I've got 2026 goals. I'm just saying. OC, what do you got on your
That's
chart?
fair.
Let's jump over there and check it out, bro.
Oh, geez.
Absolutely. So we've been tapping this since a long, long time ago. I'm talking about the Wyckoff ranging here. So it's been, I think, over 2 months that we've been following since we have this confirmation here and the V-shaped recovery. So at this point, I just want to top out at the confirmation of spring confirmation. As you can see, we have the whole thing. So we have this downtrend here. We have a downtrend. We also have the springing here with the heads, and then also the head and shoulders. So just so you know, this head and shoulders, it's an formation outside the Wyckoff pattern, doesn't need to be there. But what is interesting to me is that this right shoulder, it is this part here, which is for me the confirmation of the spring. So we have the top retracement, the confirmation of the spring, and right now we are piercing through the neckline here, right? So I've been also looking at another chart in here, which is not this one, by the way. What do I do with my charts? Come on. There we go. This is the one. And here we can see a huge and big cup and handle. So as you can see right here, we can see the cup and then the handle. Something important that we're keeping track, it is that based not on me, but also in literature and many other traders, is that they like, including me, to be at least 1/3, and for me even 1/4 of the full length of the whole cup. So we have the whole cup, we have a 130 here, and if we do the maths, we can even go as far low as 55,600 to still be bullish. Nonetheless, we're making that push right now to the top of the range, and the breakout of the neckline could be defining the end movement to break out of the handle from the cup in handle. But yeah, I mean, if we just wrap things up right here really fast, with the last part, if I turn on my support and resistances on chart prime, here we go. Let's just take a look at it. 1 second for trading view to load. All right, there we go. We can see that we are in huge resistance. So we have 2 resistance lines. Also, we have a smart target, and also we have a very bearish liquidity area right there. So I don't think that this neckline is going to go down without a fight. Nonetheless, everything is looking very nice, very bullish under my eyes. So yeah, that's what I got, guys.
Yeah, that's the same level that I was just talking about. We're right at that peak right now of that previous high. So we've got to break that. Now, if we don't break that, but we pull back and test that point of control that I pointed out on the chart right here, get that point of control on the screen. If we get that, there we go. If we come back and we retest this point of control at 63,000, then that would be where I would assume, based on, what we tend to do, retest of that point of control, that would put us back up to the value area high is typically where you go to, which is as high as 70,000, but we have a major resistance level of the 786. So yeah, right now, guys, that level that he just pointed out, that's where we are. So be very careful on that. Guys, GameStop, I'm going to talk about them for a second because we had a little thing happen here on GameStop. First of all, you guys can see this big pullback. We had the rejection here. right there on the golden pocket, about $78.42. And then down it came right now, currently sitting at about $36.54. I'm still in profit for those that are not aware. That were not here earlier in the week. On Sunday evening, I bought some GameStop, doubled my money, took out half of my share, sold it. That way, the money that is in there is free money. I still have it sitting in there. It's still in profit as we speak. But why is it dumping like this? Roaring Kitty dumped the markets. No joke. He really did. Let's jump over here and look at this. GameStop stock, it falls 31% pre-market in minutes after Roaring Kitty makes a post with the Grim Reaper. And let's check out this video and see what he says here. There you go. Little video there. It's just the Grim Reaper knocking on the door of GameStop. After that happened, it absolutely just collapsed. Yesterday, though, there was Jim Cramer making some noise on it. Jim Cramer here yesterday says he can't see GameStop trading at $64 or even $44, and the responsible move is to sell, sell, sell. Did he get this one right, or are we about to see a bounce on GameStop? As of right now, going back to the charts there, guys, you will see that we are at a key level of resistance, previous resistance here, that we now have to break. It's at $36.10. It's the 0.236 there on the Fibonacci. So, TradeFly, let's kick it over to you and see what else you're looking at in the charts. But I do want to point out that we do have that $36.10 support level and a big dump on GameStop today. So. TradeFly, we can't hear you, bro.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
There you go.
All right, let's look at Sol here. Let's go on the 4-hour chart. We talked about that a little bit yesterday, so let's follow up on that. And it looks like we're getting a move to the upside. That makes sense. We were struggling with that 0.5 area at about 144, point of control. Kind of talked about all that yesterday. Look at this, though. You see the divergence. So it was giving you the indication here with the prime oscillator that we were looking for potential some upside there with Sol. I did talk about a couple key areas. One was this value area high, which it looks like we're breaking right through, no problem. And then you got the top side here of this symmetrical triangle, right? Really, I'd say the bigger area to watch is 160, which is going to be the 0.382. I think you're going to find resistance in that area. Let's go ahead and put the chemtrails on, see if that aligns. Oh, there you go. So it's saying you're at some resistance right here where it's at right now. And there is a small rejection. There is a little bit of volume there, not too much to write home about. I think this is going to be a pit stop. If the market continues to move up and right, I think it's going to end up breaking through that area, and you're going to see a pretty quick move up to about 160. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, there's a little resistance time now. So there you go, chart prime for the win, baby. So take that back off here. That's your top side target, and then obviously 0.5 is your key area of resistance where the point control is. At about, we'll say about 144, maybe as far down as about 141. So I'd say sentiment right here is, I would say, the bias is to the upside for Sol, but that's all contingent on the market just continuing to move up and right. So if everything stays bullish, then we're good to go. But I do think we're hitting resistance in a couple. I think Bitcoin was at resistance too, right? Isn't that what you guys were saying? I didn't really pay all that much. Yeah. So if Bitcoin's at resistance, you got to keep that in mind, right? Because Bitcoin is kind of driving the market. I can't remember who said it the other day, but he said that's the North Star. I was like, I like that. I'm going to use that. So there you go.
Pretty good.
Keep an eye on that. So about what I got for Sol, man.
All right, OC, let's bounce it over to you, man.
Oh, I was looking at BlackBerry yesterday since you were talking about. All right, let's take a look at it very quick at BlackBerry, guys. Remember, do not chase after price action and then wait for the price action to come to you. This is a great example of that, where, I mean, if you start just trying to go jamming it, take maybe just revenge trading it, or just jump late into the movement, well, then you get absolutely liquidated, or at the very least, just your money trapped there, right? So I would not be buying BlackBerry, by the way, not at this point, not at these areas. And the only a chance that I will be buying BlackBerry will be when I see flip of the ribbon at big support. So right now we're a big support, but we can still go a little bit lower here, or even break through the zero line. So at least for me, and this is not financial advice, I will be expecting a little bit more of a flip of the ribbon. Let me show you something like something like that at least, and then also do not completely lose this area. It seems like we are losing it, and the next area will be dynamic reactor along this support area here, or the money flow POC. If we bring a little bit more of this volume right down here, and finally, and last but not least, look at this delta volume. Not only that, look at the differential or the difference between the bulls and the bears in here. 85.7% bullish and 71.43% bullish of the previous movements. By the way, guys, those are our liquidity zones here on the dynamic markets dynamics pro. So those are going to be maybe a DCA areas that I will consider jumping in as I see flip of the ribbon. So first possible area right here at somewhere around 307, and next possible area right here at 287 for a possible meme stock second life entry. All right. So again, and this is not going to be a major, neither an important entry for me, but just keeping track on that. And yeah, that's what I got for you guys.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking at Ethereum right now. Look, and there's Ethereum, which you're looking at on yours. I'm looking at Ethereum right now, and 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 I do have an article on this that's talking about the TD sequentials, which we're going to look at in just a second here. But something that I do want to point out, we are coming into some critical levels of resistance here. You can see that we had back here at the end of April, nice little rejection off of that golden pocket. We came down, we tested the 50%, we tested the 50%, we tested the 50%. Lots of retest there of a critical support level on the fibs coming in at 28.73. We'll call it 28.75. But right now, we are getting off of Bitcoin's movement this morning, that gravitational pull or that northern star guidance there from Bitcoin, as we'll say with the trade flies analogy there. But we are heading towards the dynamic reactor here. This dynamic reactor currently coming in at $3,000. Nice psychological number. Also has been rejected there numerous times in our past here, local history. We did get a ribbon flip, and we did get that bullish divergence, which did give us indication here at that bounce of support that we were looking at an upside movement. However, pause for effect. What I'm going to be watching for is for this ribbon to get a zero line rejection here on the Oscillator Pro. Also, the RSI Prime showing a nice big wick down, which typically happens before we get a reversal here. So one thing I'm going to be watching is for this to start to get smaller candles here as this is slowing into this zero line range on the Oscillator Pro. And when that happens, if we are in this area here, that is likely going to be a good area to do a short on Ethereum. However, what I want to point out, let's jump over here to this news article, and we'll talk about this. So Ethereum major metric signals huge rebound, says analyst. Top analyst predicts that Ethereum is on the brink of a substantial price recovery. So it's indicated by prominent crypto analyst Ali Martinez. The analyst's recent tweet sent ripples across the digital asset sphere, highlighting a crucial technical indicator that suggests ETH's potential for a notable price upswing. He's talking about his the TD sequentials, and he says his keen observations within the crypto market is why he's known for, and he took to X to explain that the TD sequential of ETH has revealed a buy signal on the daily chart. He noticed that this crucial signal indicates the potential for an Ethereum price to experience a rebound spanning 1 to 4 candlesticks. And what he's talking about, you can see this green little check mark right here, the green little arrow, and then there's a about 4 candle movement up. He thinks that off of this one we could get a 4 little candle up. Let's go back and look at that chart on the daily now, and let's see what that looks like and see if we're seeing anything else on our indicators to give us something that can go along with that TD sequential. So we get rid of all of the Mexican spaghetti here, get the indicators up. Well, actually I am seeing some stuff here. We are trying to get above the daily dynamic reactor right now. We are starting to get a green candle on the RSI prime down here at the 30% line. We do have a peak seeker that printed right here about 2 days ago. We did come down and do a little retest again of that 50, like I said. So it is possible that we could be looking at a movement here to the upside based on this oscillator giving us that upward movement. And also, if you take a look at where we've had these at, look there, we had a movement up, ribbon flip, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then also back here, we had at least four, about 6 of them coming up. So we could be looking at about a 4 candle move up to the upside on Ethereum, lining up with that TD sequential indicator there from Ali Martinez. So let's kick it over to TradeFly. Let's get it to you. Let's see what you got on your charts, man.
I don't. Just looking at Avalanche on the daily. So we did come down and test the golden pocket, which we have been talking about quite a bit. So you will see a lot of the altcoins are kind of following a very similar trend. Some performing a little bit better, some performing a little bit worse. Some are over the dynamic, some are under. In this case, Avalanche is actually under the dynamic reactor, but it looks like it is working to flip that to green. It had a little moment there where it flipped green, came red. I think it's going to go back to green if everything continues in the current trajectory right now. So the value area low, that was a pretty important number or area, we'll say. We were actually finding candle closes at the value area high. We didn't, or the low. We were only getting the wicks down to the golden pocket. So coming down, looking at the oscillator, you can see the overall trend is up and right. This one did come down a little bit further below this, but still, it is still above this initial touch, right? So not all is lost. I think, it might actually hold up. I think 31 is going to be your area of support that it honors. And then I think we're going to make this move up. We're going to retest this area where the dynamic reactor is and the point of control is about 36 to about 37 bucks. I think that's where we're going to retest. So currently right now at about 34, not a bad little move. Let's go ahead and measure that out. 5% move doesn't look like much, but 5% move is actually pretty nice. So I think it's probably going to retest there. If it does break through, your area of resistance is going to be pretty clear right here. Look at the pretty strong wick that shows you selling pressure in the area of about 39, actually $40. So keep your eye on that one as well. You look here, you can see resistance, see the breakdown. We always talk about that. You see support. So yeah, that's going to be a key area for you to watch. But short term, $36 to $37. I think we're going to test that. You'll probably see an initial rejection before you ultimately see a breakdown, or sorry, a breakthrough. But yeah, those are kind of your key areas right now. Overall, it does say market pumps. Prime score is a 1, so there's a little bit of contradictory there. I think I'm going to roll with the prophecy. And I think we're going to see a little bit of movement to the upside for AVAX.
Awesome. OC, what do you got for us, brother?
So I have BNB talking about predictions. Remember that yesterday we were taking a alert right live on this channel. So it was ringing yesterday at, what was it? 7:42 a.m. my time. So 15 minutes before right now. And I was telling you guys, well, we're breaking this area right here. And I do expect a further continuation to the downside. And also then throughout the day, we saw a movement down throughout the classes. I already told the community that be patient because we're going to have a couple of more candles like in this area that are going to be wicking down to this support and resistances. All right. So what to do now, since we already have broken, going to find a target. And now we're bouncing. Hopefully you guys talk that short and also do a head switching here for a long. So if you don't worry. But now we are getting close to a possible rejection right here. We're heading through the dynamic reactor. Remember, like TradeFly mentioned, that I also love his reference. The Northern Star will be guiding the hand of crypto throughout all of these movements. So if Bitcoin keeps pumping up and breaks the neckline, do expect that BNB keeps pushing forward. So should you buy right here at resistance? No, you never long at resistance. You never short at support. All right. So let me just bring up the indicators in here. Let me turn off my drawings in here. And also you'll see that we have a beautiful symmetrical triangle that is exactly as what we were looking at. The only difference and that it is automated. And right here we can see a ton of areas here for resistance. Not only that, something that I want to point out, it is that this delta volume, it is green. Remember, those are my liquidity zones, and that is telling me that we can go up to that area, do reject because that is not 100%, go find support maybe in dynamic reactor, and off we go. All right, so the only thing that we need to understand is that we are below the zero line, and last time that we were below the zero line, that was a breakout, retest, and off we go. So plan number A, and for me the most possible, is going to be a rejection out of the dynamic reactor. Plan B, which is going to be Bitcoin breaking through the neckline, it's going to be a breakout to the dynamic reactor, breakout to the trend line, going for a retest, and then off we go. So be prepared, guys. How do you trade it? Well, I will be waiting for breakouts or rejections before committing to a trade on BNB. Another one very fast I want to point out, and I'm going to be touching afterwards, is going to be Floki, because Floki, it's been crazy not giving an F about everything else in the market. But yeah, turning it back to you guys.
Awesome. Be careful with those trade calls. You might get nominated for a brownie button. So just wanted to point that out there. Let's jump over here and get into Arweave. Checking this out. Arweave here, guys. We are getting back up here on a pump right now. We had a lot of retests that happened here on the 236 at $38.16, getting that support off of there, and now breaking through the point of control and the value area high on this fixed range volume profile, coming back through here. If we actually pull this in with some older data, let's see what we get off of that. Come here, please, and thank you. There we go. And let's get this let's get this pump up in there and see if that changes. Yep, that changes quite a bit. We are looking at the value area high as the support level here, and we're holding above it. Looks like we're going to be coming back to try to test this one-to-one line at $47.56. Watch for possible rejections to come in there, but there is one thing I want to point out. If we go in here and we turn off the fixed range volume profile and turn off the fibs, we do have a nice little falling channel here that we are testing the top on. Again, you can see multiple touches on that. Three now that we've knocked on, and we are getting a rejection on that. If we do break down from that, watch for us to come back and test the dynamic reactor here from Chart Prime. That's going to be coming in at about $36.80. If we do break this, don't trade the breakout. Trade the retest. Once you get that retest, bounce off of there, and that's where you would be looking for your entry, is on that retest. If we take a look at what we're seeing on the oscillators, we still have quite a bit of room on the 4-hour to move to the upside above that zero line. Are starting to hit pretty high here on the RSI Prime, though, but we can get up into like the 93, 94 range and still be in normal pattern and history movements there for price. So checking out the daily on this real fast just to see how it's looking. Yeah, we are pretty high here, and looks like we do have Heikin-Ashi coming down here on the RSI Prime, saying that this might be a point of rejection. So be watching very, very carefully here for this to be a rejection point, trading inside of this little pattern that we got. So let's kick it over to TradeFly.
Let's do it. Looking at World Mobile Token. So apparently there was a cup and handle at one point that I was looking at. That seems to have played out. Didn't follow up on that. So yeah, looks that was a nice play. But it did get into a channel here. You can see it broke out a little bit when it probably got a little bit of hype behind it. People were probably just FOMOing in and pushed it up out of the channel. It's fallen back into the channel though. So we've kind of regressed to the mean. So there's two things to look at here, right? It might find support in this channel as it continues its bullish trend up and right. You also have the dynamic reactor right underneath of that, right? So it doesn't have to necessarily wick down to it because it's a moving average, right? So you come down to the prime oscillator, you're seeing that you're getting into oversold, all right? So you want to see this start to bend back up and right. If you see that bend back up and right, and it does look like we are finding support in this area, I'd at least wait for a candle close on the daily, maybe even a second retest to feel really comfortable about it. But I mean, bullish structure, man. World Mobile Token looks pretty good right now. So we'll see if it falls out of that area. That's where it could get weird. Let's go ahead and put on the chemtrails here. Look at that. So it's calling some support there as well. Again, not a whole lot of volume now. So be careful with that. If I was just looking at the chart, I turn this off and I'm like, okay, let's just do horizontal lines. If it continues to fall, then this area right here looks very key, right? Because you had a very prominent area of resistance, you had a prominent area of support. So right there at about 20 cents is kind of, I'll say, my low. But right now it's honoring the range. So I wouldn't be necessarily scared to try to play this range or this channel as it's going up and right. That might be an opportunity there for you because we've had a pretty nice pullback. So you want to look for those, if you're trying to add to your bags, if you guys are DCA into this could be an opportunity for you. So yeah, just a quick look at World Mobile Token. Overall, looks pretty bullish in structure. Just want to make sure that it holds this support area right here at about 26 or 27 cents.
Awesome. Yeah, good on that one. Let's jump over here. Let's check out Clean Spark for my mining people. I'm all about the Bitcoin mining. Shout out to T-Shroom in the chat, by the way. Said he might buy some more AVAX. I was watching your show as I was prepping for mine this morning, T-Shroom. So if you guys don't follow him, go check out Investing Bros. They're killing it over there with their subscribed numbers, and they are growing quickly. So go check them out. Let's get in here and take a look at CleanSpark. CleanSpark this morning on that move for Bitcoin was getting a little bit of a rally this morning, but it is now pulled back almost to its opening candle right there at about, what is it now? $15.36, $15.52 there is what it's looking like. Its daily close was $15.36. So as long as we maintain this area, this green T box here, guys, this is where I said that watch for consolidation and an entry because we got the golden pocket, that 618 at 1522. And then also we do have right below that the value area low, but it looks like we got a clean rejection perfectly on the dynamic reactor from Chart Prime. So that is key resistance levels right there above us. So it's almost like we're in this green accumulation entry area, and right above it, sandwiched on top, would be a red T box of resistance here. So guys, you got to have to keep an eye on this, but this point of control sitting right there above us with that dynamic reactor is going to be a key resistance level that we're going to have to get through. And I'm going to be watching that, but this is still holding true. This level right here of the green T box, key accumulation area, not financial advice, just a good area to pick up Clean Spark if you wanted to get some. This is where I would do it. So let's jump over to OC and see what you got there in your charts, man.
Absolutely. I also saw that Crux of Crypto is saying that Floki is up for 40%. I've been also looking at Floki, and more like because we were looking at this possible pattern that was about to play out. So basically, let me just do it once again for you. So we see this downtrend, and then out of nowhere, it just kind of like not caring about anything else, nobody else. Well, it just breaks out, goes for a retest, and then off we go. So we have seen this multiple times and numerous times, and then again it happened once again right here, and finally it did happen also right there. So basically just breaking, not caring about anything. Remember, Floki is not one of my favorite coins. Nonetheless, I do own a little bit, and also I like for it to keep going upwards, right? But let's go and take a look at where we are standing right now. So first of all, let me just get enough volume here, enough candles for my volume profile to be fed as much as I can. Here we go. And we are right now on a bearish area right here. So a rejection might be on its way. Also, we are above the zero line. We're basically a goose head played out, and we're going farther up. But right now we are against a resistance. We are pretty strong, and then we also have market pumps. So we need to be a little bit careful where we're standing right now. I'm going to be marking that area of resistance, because if we break that area of resistance, we're going to get into a positive volume, or basically not a positive volume, but a possible outcome of the volume, which is a positive deficit, right? And if we get there, we might have enough fuel to get back somewhere around the next possible resistance, which is 0.2650. So this could be a good movement. Again, I will not be just entering just because, not chasing after prices. But I mean, if we look at just raw data, if we're going for the retest, we could be looking at an 18% movement, no leverage. So just be careful there. Hey, Jay, what's up? And Alexander G. So just be careful out there. unlucky, but could be a good opportunity to make some side cash. Remember, do not go crazy with leverage, use the stop loss, and as always, I mean, keep trailing those profits. So yeah, turning it back to you guys.
Awesome. TradeFly, you got anything for the people?
Yeah, man, let's take a look at our portfolio, huh? So we are finally slightly profitable, only up by about 1% and 38 cents. But let's take a look-see at it. Let's see what our best performer is, which is Bitcoin, and that is up 4.91%. Ethereum is up 1.18%, and Bonk is the big mover. That's up 7.91%. Surprisingly, our worst performer is Caspa, and since opening the portfolio, that is down 5.65%. Ondo is not far off, and Render just kind of holding steady there, just down 2.6%. So just want to revisit it, give you guys a little bit of update. I told you I should have bought back in yesterday. I was thinking about it. I didn't stick with my instinct because before PAL talks, market goes down. After PAL talks, market goes up. That's the trend I've been seeing. I should have went with my gut there, but that's all right. We'll wait for you guys to have your input on it. But hey, go ahead and start putting some things in the chat if you guys want me to look at some tokens to put in here, or if you want me to double down on some of the tokens or the coins that are in here right now. I would personally say Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Bonk are going to be probably the top three. Bitcoin, Ethereum, we're always going to do, but Bonk, I'm going to put some in. I am going to keep allocating some funds. So I'll let you guys throw some things in the chat there. Let me know what you like, and I'll pass it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Yeah, I want to real quick run through micro strategies, and then I'll show you the key level to buy Caspa. It's been my number. It's been my number on Caspa for a hot minute, and I talk about it all the time. So we're going to show that one. Looking here at micro strategies, and this is for Crux Crypto, because Crux said that he was looking at selling off a little bit of his Bitcoin to pick up micro strategies. So that is what we're looking at here, guys, is micro strategies right now. And you can see we did get above the dynamic reactor. It had been previous resistance here on the 4 hours numerous times. But something that I'm watching here is on the daily. Actually, we can keep it on the 4 hour. It doesn't matter. It's about these fibs. And these fibs here, I'm going to isolate this chart off so we can have just this coming in from where we bottomed out here recently on the local bottom up to the top, where we got our peak and pulled off of that dynamic reactor on the 4 hour, or not off the off of that 1-to-1 line, I should say, zero line at $2,000. Nice psychological number. Before we came down to break that dynamic reactor and get a retest on it. Look where we bounced. It is right here cleanly in the golden pocket. So this was a key level to pick up more micro strategies here. Right now, we're heading up to that 382 after a nice support test numerous times for about a week on that 50% line. So MicroStrategy is looking pretty decent right now and can maintain its composure. Right now, we are looking at creating a new higher low here, or yeah, higher low and a higher high off of the local here. But we also have this right here. You guys see this little guy right here? That would be a rejection of a Head and Shoulders, and now it looks like we're breaking it. Let's just measure this off. I'm just curious to see dirty little Head and Shoulders here where it would go to. That would put us almost at the 236 again here, previous resistance and support level back here that we also had. So that's coming in at 1633. Keep an eye on that. Let's jump over and do Caspa really fast so that if you guys do drop anything in the chat, you can get some looks there. It looks like NOS is called out here. And then, yeah, it looks like NOS. And then C90 has some comments there for you, TradeFly, about your portfolio. So looking at Caspa here, guys, that key level, it's 11.2 cents. I've talked about this level for a long time. We had this little period here that we did break below it, but for the most part, when you look at the daily, 11.2 cents has been a key level in here for quite a while, many times, for picking up all this area here, and most recently a perfect retest on it again there. I do think, though, that the best accumulation point is right here in this T box, and that is because of this long running trend line that we have coming into play on that 4.618. That's going to be your phase 4 golden pocket at 9.6 cents. This trend line going all the way back here to June of 2023, so almost a year ago now. Multiple touches on that historically, and if we come back down to that range, that would be where I would watch at right in here in this green accumulation box. That would be the pickup, and that is coming in. Bottom side on this right now is 8.7 cents, but I do think that the trend line is what we're looking for. So 9.6 cents there, and then a trend line, depending on how long it takes to get there, could actually be above this. And in this block here, that would be where I would look at accumulation for a really heavy buy into CASPA, not financial advice, just what I would do. So let's kick it over to whoever's got NOS. Who's got NOS?
I have NOS up.
All right, and then Tesla's been requested too. So if you want to grab that one, OC, that would be great.
Yeah, I think I jacked up the chat a little bit because I said, hey, put some projects in there you want to see in the portfolio. So then we got a laundry list of projects all at once.
That's okay.
So,
we got about 9 minutes, so we're good.
Okay, but yeah, so Sana, we talked about this recently. We did identify the golden pocket as well as the dynamic reactor. It did find support there, and it had a nice move off of that. Let's go ahead and look at that move. We have moved 67%. All right, sleeping on that one a little bit. So it did interact with the point of control, and it ultimately broke out of the range. It's now going back to this range, right? So you had a naked point of control here. It did come up. It looks like it was hitting some resistance on it. Now it looks like it wants to try to break through. So, I mean, if it continues that trajectory, it's going to probably get back into this range here, and it's going to make a move up. I don't know how much the 0.236 is going to be in play here. I would probably keep more of an eye at the value area high. So value area high at about 6.4 is what I'm going to keep my eye on as the high side target. If it works its way back up there, let me go ahead and go to the 4 hour. See how it's interacted with that previously. I just want to see. Yeah, that's kind of tough here. Actually, where it got rejected is probably a likely. It might move up. Yeah, this is, I like my horizontal line. So sometimes the 4 hour shows you a little more detail. And I like this area as an area of resistance right here. And the reason I like it is you come back left on the chart. Look at this. Rejection, rejection. You got support here before it broke down. You can see a little bit of support, a little bit of resistance in here, but then you ultimately see resistance, and then it actually break through. So, I talk about this over and over again. You see an explosive movement through it, and then you see a breakdown, retest, and ultimately a breakdown. That tells me that's a significant area. So if it does continue to move up, that's where I would expect to see some kind of price action off of an area. 5.81 is going to be a key area for you. I think you're going to see some price movement off of that, probably a few percent at least. Once it gets up there, you'll probably see a little rejection. Coming down, looking at the prime score, that's an 8. Prophecy says market pumps. All is well in the neighborhood for Nosana. Maybe that might be a player for the portfolio. I think I'm going to put that on the list. So Friday, expect to see Nosano on there. Let's see if you guys want to put that one in the portfolio.
Sweet. OC, what you got for us, bro?
All right, so I do have Tesla here, and also at the end, I want to touch on OP because we are at a possible DCA entry. So Tesla, here we go. So we have a breakout here. We did not hold the support. We are below the dynamic reactor, and we are having a little bit of a moving here. So it seems to be a slight rejection, right? So we need to be a little bit careful here because we are below the zero line, and also we are below the dynamic reactor. Things are not looking that bad. In fact, we have a green neon lining here, which is part of our market Oracle Pro prime trend assistant, right? Which is telling us that, well, despite it is not that bullish, well, we can still count on bullish movement so far, right? So as long as we don't lose the neon lighting here, the neon line, well, I believe that we are still good on the next upcoming movement. Therefore, let's take a look at where do we have support and resistance. So we are right now on a huge channel of support and resistances. And we can see that this is not new. We've been seeing that area, and that's exactly what we can be expecting, right? A fight through those areas and bouncing back and forth until we break out. So for me, I will be trying to long the bottom and then short the top. It's a little bit of a small movement for a 4-hour Tesla. So in this case, instead of buying and selling, I will be more likely doing a DCA. All right. So entering here for DCA number 1 and then aiming at this area for DCA number 2. In case that we come back, I just hold it and then set my stop loss at the center between them both. And then if it goes up, taking some profits, go back down, finding some support, being above the 0 line, finding the flip of the ribbon, and then with a measure or a full entry, off we go. So that's what I got on Tesla. It's not looking that bad, but again, we are bearish and we do have a little bit of support right down here. So a further move to the downside, it is expected from this area. Very quick on OP. From our DC8 entry,
I got OP.
Yep. Oh, all right. So take it.
Yeah, I got a little something here to show on it. So jumping over here to OP, guys, we got this little history trend that goes on here, and this is why I want to show this and why I just snatched it back. From a bottom to a top on the pullback, we get bounces in the platinum pocket. That is the first one here, okay? If we go to the next fib and take a look at this bottom to top, we came back and we got our retest and bounced out of the platinum pocket. You can see multiple touches there on that one. This is the historical movement that we get. If we look at the current from the bottom to the top again, I don't think we're there yet. I think we're going to come back down and do a platinum pocket touch again on a whole new fib setup. And the reason that I also think that is that if we throw on the fixed range volume profile, guys, we do have the point of control coming in right in the middle of that for this entire range period here. That is going to be a key level, and I do think that that is the right level to look at because we did have a great rejection here on the 382 fibs. Also, that is the value area high of the fixed range volume profile. Getting that rejection down right now, we're in the golden pocket, so it is a key level of support. But typically, when you get a rejection on the value area high, you do come back down to the point of control, hitting inside of that platinum pocket, which is the historical play that OP likes to make. Also, one last thing that I wanted to show here is that if we do I put my little rectangle box in there. Let me turn that on. This is my area that I'm looking at between $1.73 down to as low as $1.33. And if we put on the oscillators and take a look at what we're seeing there, we do have more room to go down. On the downside here, we are not even close to its normal bottoming level of about 1251 on the RSI prime. We're not getting any reversals here on these candles. They are looking the same all the way down on the Heikin-Ashi. Continuance trend is what that tells me, with more downside to go on the Oscillator Pro. Look at that accumulation right there in the platinum pocket, man. That's what I got.
Oh, you see the chat?
I did not.
So Jay, he was one of the winners of the payouts. He got Render. And remember the conversation we were having outside of the show? I was like, we were kind of trying to figure out which one we should do. And I was like, well, Render's at the golden pocket. And he said it's up over 50% since he got Render. So yeah, man, that's freaking awesome.
So if you guys don't know, we do giveaways here on the show once every month for our members, our joined members down below. So if you want to join, you can get any tier and you are in the automatic giveaway every month. So we did Render last month, and Jay won a great little run on Render. So shout out to Jay. So now he said he's going to give it back when it's at 100%. Jay, you are a gentleman and a scholar with a great soul. We love you, man.
Nah, you know what I said though? First round's on him.
First round's on him. That's right.
That's it.
OC, Tradefly, what you got for the people? Let's get out of here. Let's close up the day. It's hump day. We got the market news out. CPI data's out. It's time to go and, grind out through the day. So, Tradefly, what you got for the people, man?
Grind out through the day, man. I'm going to sleep, bro. That's what's happening for me.
Go crash out on your pillow then for you.
Yeah. Hey, as always, it's great mixing up with you guys. Hope you guys took something away. As always, hey, like and subscribe. We really appreciate you guys. I love having you. Pay attention to the Discord. Piper did drop a great nugget for you. A nice little setup that you could have took advantage of. And that, I believe, was in the general chat, if I remember correctly. So that is absolutely free. Was that in general
That
chat?
was in members. That was in members.
Was it in members? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Members. I'm sorry. Well, you got to pony up a couple bucks in. Sorry about that. But, there's
We
still
get
a lot
most of it back. Outside of
do.
operating cost, it goes back to the community. So,
but yeah, it's a good reason to come over to the Discord. We don't really shill that hard. We're not really trying to push any products or shill anything besides our little sponsorships that are our affiliate deals that we have. So, just come bro out with us, man. I hopefully you guys will learn something. And I will talk to
Awesome.
you guys tomorrow.
OC, tell them what they win if they hit the like button.
Oh gosh. There we go.
Absolutely. You know what day is it? Well, for me, it's trash day. So if it's also trash day for you, make sure that you click that like button so your wife doesn't remember that and she takes out the trash for you. So if you click that like button, you're going to be spared snooze out of the trash day. So don't believe me, try it out and see what happens. Click that like button.
Yep. Hey, great show today, guys. Everyone in the alumni, all the alumni and all the people in the chat right now, we appreciate you guys being here. Don't forget to go check out Amy Lives Crypto. She's got her link was dropped. OC, wrong side, bro. So backwards down there in Mexico. Guys, we'll be back here tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, and the markets, and everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Stick around. We're about to go raid Randy Hipper. So go in there and start dropping those alumni caps, guys. Let's get it. We're out of here. Check it tomorrow. Trade safe. Use a stop loss.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels flow low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti, yo. Crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Chart Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels flow low. Sound off to get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
That was awesome!